Ladies and gentlemen, I found him. I want you to meet the baddest motherfucker in town.
Allow me to introduce myself. The bad man. I'm a bad man.
I'm the madman, and bad men we're black. And if it comes to dropping bombs, yo, I'm with that. Sound wave, let me get chin up like uppercuts. Straight to slap out the sound waves from the early days. Feel it in your vertebrae, go DJ.
You are now tuned in to the freshest, the dopest, the one and only www.diggingdaddy.com. This is the Way Radio, broadcasting live from Hotbox Studios. And as always, we got special guests in the house, and today is no exception. Who we got? Introduce yourself, big brother.
My name is DJ JAHBLUEZ, a.k.a. DJ Dark Fader.
DJ Dark Fader.
Yeah.
That's what's up. That's what. Opening track. Talk about that. The beginning. Talk about that track.
All right, word. Yeah, that's coming from the Phono project that's dropping this Monday. It's featuring like DJs, legendary DJs that I've been knowing for a long time, like Mark Love, DJ Swamp, Soundwave, the Badman, Mr. Word or DJ Word, DJ Habit, DJ Psychopath, DJ Seedless, DJ FM, just a dope lineup of DJs that collaborated with me. So what I did was I threw these dudes some beats that I produced, just some break beats, nothing too busy, and I'm like, hey, why don't you guys lace this up, put your sauce on it? So what they did is they put their DJ sauce on it, and I came either before them or after them and laced my cuts on it.
Nice.
So we did kind of like, it's basically almost like what MCs do with a compilation, but I did it with DJs.
Nice.
So, yeah.
So let me ask you this. There's a lot, just based off what you said right now, there's so many questions running through my head right now. But before we do that, who is DJ JAHBLUEZ?
DJ JAHBLUEZ, who is it? Well, that's a really good one, man.
That's what we do right here at diggingdaddy.com. We ask those hard-hitting questions.
Well, I mean, I'm a hip hopper, man. Like, I mean, I know that's kind of corny and cliche to say, but I've been doing this for a long time. I'm a producer, DJ. Obviously, my element of hip hop is DJing. That's my main element. I produced for going over 30 years.
Nice.
I've also worked behind the scenes, like doing some marketing, street team promotions, radio promotions for Interscope / Death Row.
Oh,
I've
word.
also worked with QD3, which is Quincy Jones' son, which is from Jungle Records under Quest, which is his father, Quincy Jones. So I had a little bit of background in behind the scenes.
Yeah.
As well as staying true to my art, working with some legendary artists, which I had the honor of working with in the last 7 years, like Micah 9, Volume 10, Gail Rock from the Cloaks. I mean, the list goes on. I don't mean to leave anybody out because there's a lot of cats that I work with and had the honor to do so. Percy P. I just did a lot of compilations. Yeah. Put together a lot of compilations. The one that I came out the gate, because I took a little hiatus from music, took a little break. Coming out of that hiatus, I did the Rewind Value, which featured Otherwise, Triune, and if you don't know who Otherwise is a Project Blodian good sir. Lifer. He was very strong in the battle scene.
Yep. Triune is a dope ass artist as well.
Absolutely.
Yes, sir.
I actually produced Triune's like first 2 albums.
Interesting, really.
Yeah, we were actually an MC DJ duo.
Nice.
And that was like right before 2000, I want to say.
Yeah.
Like 98, 99. But yeah, I work with Triune. A lot of battle MCs. I also work with Tech the Super Latin, which is the son to Click the Super Latin.
What's up? Big up Tech.
You know,
Click.
Click, big bro. Yeah, man. I mean, it's been an honor, man. My hip hop journey is pretty thick, and I really appreciate the cats that I work with. Every one of them love what they do, and they're like true artists, and that's what I like to try to stick to.
Yeah.
And if you're gonna say who is JAHBLUEZ, aka Dark Fader, man, I'm a DJ that just loves hip hop, man. I love to spin it, I love to scratch, I love to blend, I love to make beats, anything that has to do creatively. I've even rapped at one time.
Really?
Yeah, I try to do graffiti. I just don't have that hand.
At least you're honest about it.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. And rapping, it's too many politics for that for me. But when it comes down to DJing, that's my element. That's the one.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
So shit, man. You did all these things in your tenure as a hip hop DJ producer. What made you get into this lifestyle or the industry?
That's a dope story. A great question. Like when I really wanted to, I'm gonna say this. When I wanted to DJ, I saw the Glove, Christopher Glove, on a movie, Scratch. And if you know who Christopher Glove, the Glove is, you know, the Glove.
Yes, that's right.
Ice-T's DJ.
Yes, sir.
So as soon as I heard him scratch, I went to grab one of my Spider-Man records, went to my mom's turntable, and I started to scratch. I ruined her turntable. But as soon as I did that, like, I fell in love with it right then and there.
What track on the Spider-Man?
What track?
What did you scratch at? What track did you scratch on?
It wasn't even a song. It was like, you know, like those storybook records?
Yeah.
Like, turn the page, bang. And it was like one of those joints, you know what I mean? It had It was like, it was fighting somebody, you know what I mean? But it was so long ago, I can't remember. But I promise you that, like, when I did that cut, when I put it back and forth, and I heard that sound and the way it worked, I fell in love right then and there, man. And from there on, I started building equipment. I went to Radio Shack, bought a mixer, and used older turntables.
Yeah.
I didn't know what a belt drive and a direct drive was at that time. So, you know, I was using belt drives, and that didn't work because the needles would keep flopping off when I cut.
That, and then sometimes you got to push that belt drive, you got to push that record just a little bit so it doesn't come in slow and then catch up to speed.
Yeah.
Believe me, I learned on a belt drive, man.
There's a drag.
I do say that. Real DJs learn on a belt drive.
Tell me about it, man. Tell me about it. Yeah, like our slip mats have to be perfect.
Yeah, right.
And yeah, everything. Yeah, the tone arm needs to be dialed in right. We used to use pennies to weigh down the needles. You know, it depends. You know, the old Statin. Was it the 520? I believe the 5. Was it the little gold one was my favorite needle. Dude.
Yeah.
Okay, that I used to beat that needle up, dude, and it just never broke. I took it to DMC World Finals with me.
Really?
And I took the same needle that I used the first needle I bought in my younger DJ days, and I took that needle with me to DMC and I battled with it.
Really?
Yeah.
So you were a battle DJ too?
Yeah, I mean, that was short-lived because I went with the crew. It wasn't just me.
Okay. I
went with a whole camp. The DJ Word was part of that. Kid Fresh was part of that crew. This dude named DJ Search, I believe. I don't remember. It was crazy because we flew after 2 weeks after 9/11 when that happened.
Oh shit. Okay.
So it was a kind of a crazy time. I don't even want to get into it. But yeah, let's change the subject, dude.
No doubt. Damn, battle. All right. And, how soon after your DJing days did you start getting into production?
Oh, okay. So yeah, that's a dope thing. In '88, I met up with this friend, and ironically, the song that you just played, that was one of the records on the Scratch album, Phono. DJ Soundwave, the bad man, his original name was Vitamin B. He called himself Vitamin B, aka Grimlock the Shock. And I met him at Taft High School, which is where I went. And he came from Brooklyn, New York. So he came from Brooklyn, New York. I met him at Taft. We started chopping it up. Oh, I love DJing. He loves DJing. We started talking. He met me up at my crib, and we would just DJ after school. We would just go to my crib and just spin. And he had some decks at his house. You know, he would go practice. We would go to his house, vice versa. But I mean, we got so tight to the point where he would show up to my house before me, and my parents would just let him in. My parents were cool like that. So he would be in there cutting it up while I show up to the house. But anyways, going to jump forward on beat making, that was my original partner. And the way we made beats back then is we took 2 turntables and a 4-second sampler.
Yes.
And we would blend 2 tracks together. We'd take like a jazz record and then a break beat, and we would blend it together, sample it for that 4 seconds, then loop that sample. Then on another record, we would add another sound, like blend it. That's how we were making beats.
Damn.
And yeah, because we didn't have beat machines, or we didn't even acknowledge or knew like where to get that.
Yeah.
Because we were young. You know, we were really young when we were
Even
starting.
just to do that process, man, you're doing it all in one take, because you fuck up, you're like, damn, gotta do it again.
Yeah.
Exactly. At once and another one, that's a process.
Exactly.
It's a process.
You're absolutely right. And we pulled a demo out of there that actually got handed to the late Eazy-E.
Really?
Doing it like that. Yep.
Damn.
Yep.
How did that happen?
It was cool, man. It was like through a mutual friend who happened to know someone from Ruthless Records, and then they met up with Eazy-E. They passed over the demo, and Eazy apparently liked some of the things we did, but I think he was just being nice because we were just kids then.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And we were limited on equipment. But from then on, the thirst for making beats got heavier. I ended up owning an SP1200, MPC60.
How soon or how long after you guys doing your production on vinyl on a 4-track did it take before you said, okay, I gotta get this SP1200?
I would say 2 years, because it started setting it off in 90 for making production, 91, I want to say.
Word up. Okay.
Because between that time, we were also DJing parties.
Okay.
And we got heavy in the party scene in the 818. And we were just throwing parties left and right almost every other weekend, or every weekend we were throwing parties, and me and him were both DJing those parties. So aside making the beats, like that was kind of our break time, we were rocking parties, man, like hip hoppers do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We made the crowd move. We had them dancing. It was a good time, man. I miss those days, man. Those were the days where like hip hop was pure.
Yeah.
You know?
It sure was.
Yep.
Let me ask you this: when you started making production, how did you decide? Okay, now I got my SP1200. How did you decide who exactly was gonna actually spit on your production?
Ah, that's cool. Yeah. I mean, basically our crew members, because I'm from United Colors, Untouchable Posse, and Can't Hold Back.
Okay.
And it consisted of a lot of like DJs, MCs, graffiti artists, and dancers. So we had a lot of members that did multiple elements. And every time we threw a party, so we had like Manor. He went by FC Crush a little bit later on. He did like dancehall and regular hip hop.
Oh, dope.
We had Skoke, Mercy. They were both dancehall rappers as well. And what's crazy, it's deep because like my origin crew members were Belizean, so they like had the native tongue. I mean, they were rapping in dancehall. And then we also had other MCs that were spitters, like Frog One. We had Reese, which is Boogie Brown. I mean, the list goes on. This is how it started in the 818, very young.
Yeah.
And then, of course, my man, the dude that I first did a full project with, which was 40, 4Zone. And 4Zone beatbox, NEMC. And we released our first vinyl on record was 1993. And we used to go to the mom and pop shops and sell that vinyl like right over the counter and do that thing, We had cassettes also.
That's
which
dope.
was pretty dope.
That's dope.
Yeah.
And then moving on forward with your music, I mean, how did the word spread as far as cats wanting to fuck with you?
Honestly, it was a lot of like a word of mouth, but then again, like the 818 had a solid network.
Okay.
So you had a lot of crews that got along with each other. So we started intermixing. Like I've worked with cats like from Styles of Beyond. Talk Beer kind of came aboard before they were actually Styles of Beyond. So Talk Beer was in a crew with me and 4Zone. So we started working together. That started getting bigger. Then we have Jordy Towers, who was actually Reese the Optimist, who is now Jordy Towers from this group called Some Kind of Wonderful. He's in this big band, like alternative band now. And so everybody kind of went on to do their own thing. But I'm just saying, like the core people from the 818, like that I mess with, were those guys. And they were dope, very talented artists, man. They love what they did. We all love what we did. That was the most important part. And when we came together, we did some really cool stuff. And we started throwing our own parties again. We started throwing our own club. We had amazing features rocking at that club. There's tons of names out there, but I mean, it would go forever.
And then, so for today, the first track you opened up with, that was off the Phono Projects.
Correct.
What part of that project did you love the most about doing that?
The whole thing, man. I mean, the fact that I got to collaborate with DJs, because that's my heart, man. That's like my main element. I dealt with a lot of MCs throughout the years, a lot of rappers, and I've always been that DJ for the rapper. Like I performed with MCs and rappers more than I have DJ clubs. So yeah, so it's like it outweighed it, and I've always missed it. I love DJing, man. Like that's how I started, and I mean, I had to do this project. It was like missing out of my catalog. It was like something I've been wanting to do ever since I was 18 years old, is do a DJ album, a scratch album.
Yeah.
But I got so involved with MCs and rappers that I didn't get a chance to do it at that time. So now now I have the time. I kind of slowed up a little bit and prioritized and move my projects around a little bit better, so I can add other projects. So I was able to do this one, and man, I'm really proud of it, man. I'm proud of the MCs. I'm honored to have I'm honored for the DJs that are involved with this.
Yeah.
It was dope, man. It's something that I've been wanting to do for a long time. I finally executed. It's dropping Monday.
Nice.
Phono.
This Monday coming up.
Yep.
Let me ask you this: in any given year, how many projects are you working on?
That's the thing with me and Gelrock just talked about. We're both like release junkies.
Yeah.
Because Gelrock is a busy guy too. Like.
Yeah, he's dropping something all the time.
Yeah, and I don't know, man. I music is therapy. It's therapy to me, man. I'm constantly working on something or thinking of a new idea, constantly creating. I haven't really counted, to be straight honest with you, and it's not like a competition or a threshold of how many projects I could put out. I'm more or less concerned on like trying to make dope music and put that out, that's my main focus, just put some relatable good music or some feel good stuff, that's like my main focus. But yeah, I mean, I just work hard, man, as I can. It's like my therapy for me. I've been through a lot in life, man, like crazy ups and downs. I've been through divorces. I have a son that I see every other weekend, that I love to death. He's my motivation as well. Royce, love you, bro, if you watch it.
Big up Royce.
Yeah, but it's in all reality, just hip hop is my life. It's been around me, ever since. It's kind of like the family member that's always there for me when I'm going through tough times.
Yeah.
So it's like if I wanted to talk to someone, I would just create. That's how I look at it. And I mean, bottom line, if you want to get through anything in life, just shut up and create. Like, just create, man. Like, don't let other people outside bother you. Don't let other distractions get in your way. Just create, man. It doesn't even have to be hip hop. Like, if you have an art, a craft, just do it and use it for therapy, man. I promise you, your life will change, man. And that's basically what I did. Like, I went through a dramatic time, and there's a lot of stuff that people don't know that what I've gone through. But once again, hip hop saved me, and it came out of that hiatus. So in that hiatus, issues, something happened, and I needed my hip hop back. Yeah. I needed it back. I needed it. So it saved me again.
Nice. Hip hop does save lives, y'all.
It does. It really does, man. I mean, it could probably happen for anybody. I mean, hip hop is just on a bigger scale because it is global, and a lot of hip hop artists relate in that category of saying it saved our life. Yeah. Because a lot of inner city kids, like, we had me personally, I wasn't ever great in school. So my choices were what? Play a sport, join a gang, or do music, or act, right? Yeah. Especially on the West Coast. Because if we live in Hollywood, LA area, right? Yeah. There's so many choices you got. But, and hip hop was there, man. It was just a bunch of cats that related to me. I related to them. Creative wise, and we just brought our pieces together, created a giant family, and look what it did. It brought peace. Yeah. Versus, instead of starting a new gang, we started a hip hop crew.
Yeah. Can't go wrong with that.
Kind of speaks for itself, right?
Yeah, can't go wrong with that.
Yeah, man.
How do you distinguish your sound for different artists? Being a producer, man.
That is because I'm not afraid to go outside the box. So
outside the box in what regards?
If you got like you got producers that like to do specific genre of hip hop or style, I should say. So like you got the new trap scene, you got the underground, you got the gangster rap, you got the there's just so many different variables. I personally see it all as one.
Yeah.
The newer stuff is kind of too duplicating to me. But in a nutshell, when it comes down to me, I'm not afraid to go outside the box. Like, I will mix jungle music with my hip hop.
Really?
I will mix rock with my hip hop.
Yeah.
I will mix opera. I will mix anything, Middle Eastern music.
Yeah.
I will mix that in my hip hop. So I mean, it's more music to me. Music creativity.
Yeah.
Versus, okay, I'm this style. I can't. I'm always stumped in that conversation. Like when people be like, "Oh, well, that's not hip hop." Like I stay quiet.
Yeah.
Because I have a stack of beats that I could put in front of you. You could be like, "Oh, that's hip hop." But then I have a stack of beats that I'll put in front of you. You'll be like, "Oh no, what are you doing? Where'd you go with that?" Some people are gonna probably clown it, but I don't care.
But isn't that? But even when with that style, isn't that for the artist who actually writes to it for them to make that sound be heard?
Boom.
You know what I'm saying?
Boom. And it's pretty cool you brought that up, because there's only a few artists that I have challenged and they stepped up to the plate and did it. Like Triune. Like I've given Triune experimental beats. He murdered them.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I gave him experimental beats. He murdered them. Like there's a St. Louis Gabor who I work with. He murdered it. Like Gel Rock, I'll give him something. He's not afraid. Now the true MC, let's step it up. The true MC can rap on anything and can take a track, any genre, any style, and make it his own, right? And I think that's where you were going with it, right?
Yes.
Pretty much. And I agree with you 100. Like I was blessed to work with MCs. Sorry, DJ, because I'm DJ on my mind. But MCs, Micah 9 is another one. Micah 9, like I gave him a couple of tracks that are outside of his box. He murdered it. Like, and I'm not afraid. Like people were expecting me to give him a typical Project Lodian style beat or underground beat, but I didn't. I gave Micah 9 something completely outside the box. Yeah. And they were like, "What?" Like, you know. So, but that's just me. I like to create, man. I like to stay outside the box a little. I like to be a little different in my creativity. So I'm like, all right, 100 people gave him the same beat. Well, I want to be that dude that's like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. was it though? I heard this saying before. A true artist, when working with another artist, will challenge the other artist to step outside of their bounds to be an even better artist.
That's what I love doing.
Yeah.
I love doing that. I'll get into fights with MCs about it too. I'm not gonna lie, man. I'll be like, "Hey, you gotta do this, Wise," and Wise would just give me hell. Like, "Oh man, I don't even like that thing." But here's the funny thing: we dropped the One Day Theory, right? We did a project called One Day Theory, and there's a track called Idiot on there. He hated that beat, but I forced him, like, "Dude, you gotta do this beat. You gotta do this, bro." Yeah. He did it, and it ended up being the favorite track on his album. Yeah. So, like, you know what I mean? I forced him, but he ended up loving it the most. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I was like, if you just give it a little shot, you never know, man. I'm like, you're talented enough to make it something. And that's what I would talk to these MCs about. Like, you're dope enough to make it your own, you know? Yeah. But at that present time, he was hearing something else. In all respect, too, you know? Because, like, I've written before. It's challenging, man. Being a writer, an MC, it's not easy, man. Yeah. There's a lot of work to writing.
There's a lot of creativity to having to write.
Oh yeah, it's also vocabulary. Like you got to keep your vocabulary up. You gotta like, it's got to stay fresh, or else you're just repeating words, right? Yeah. And that doesn't make you a solid MC. If you're constantly repeating phrases every song, it's gonna run out eventually, right?
Yep, true that.
So, but going back to production, like, yeah, I would even me and Triune almost went to blows in the studio over stuff like that. Like, we would almost get in fights. I would make him do a track over and over and over and over again because I didn't like the way he was delivering it, and it was to my beat. Like no, do it again, and we would go crazy.
Really?
But it bonded us. You know what I mean? Like, he'll tell you that. He'll tell you today. You know, he thanked me publicly. Like, now he produces. He didn't produce that back then. Yeah. So he learned what I taught him, or what I did with him, and he applied it to what he does today. And he's told me that publicly, and I'm pretty sure he would tell you that too.
Word up.
But it was like, the thing is, that's what we do. And I took something from him too, because when I first met Triune, he was a battle MC.
Yes, he was.
And he was hardcore battle MC. And him and Otherwise would go toe to toe a lot, as well as his partner, Deadeye, right? So Deadeye was a beast MC as well. But see, now, a lot of my old camp crew are aggressive MCs as well. Like my UC, UTP, CHP crew, like they're aggressive MCs. So I come from that background. But to watch this kid, he's younger than me, by several years. But when I saw him at a battle, I was like, man, this kid's got a dope tone of voice. His delivery is sick. I got to get him to the studio. So I threw a contest at the local 818 shop. Rock. What was it? Oh, man. I forgot his store. Man, I feel bad for it. But I threw a contest because I had a studio in Chatsworth. And the winner got studio time. Well, he won. He came to my studio, man. I was like, oh, dude, this is meshing too well. So his vocals were sounding perfectly on my beats. So I had to take him in. He rocked to a couple beats. And I also had to show him how to be a recording artist.
Yeah.
So he was so wild and aggressive. He was aggressive MC. He just wanted to murder people, dude. And so he would rap and his vocals would distort. It would be like, you know what I mean? His vocals would be all over. He'd be like, like this, and I would tell him like ease off, showed him how to flatten his vocals, and now he's killing it, dude. He's killing. I'm so proud of him, man. He's done a good job. But like, I've done that for many other MCs. Like, I've showed him how to be recording artists versus like battle rappers.
Yeah.
But that's because of my upbringing. Like the people I rock with were professionals. They came from families that were professionals. So I don't know, man. It all comes together.
That's right. We're gonna get into another track right now. Don't Talk. Talk about that track. Introduce that track.
Don't Talk. That's like kind of what we were just talking about a little bit earlier, man. Just shut up and create. That's by my man Gail Rock from the Poetry of War project, man. So proud of that project, dude. We did a great job. He killed every beat I gave him, man. He did his thing. But this is Don't Talk, man. Drop it.
Well, I'm 20 plus steady and still killing it heavy. Built so ever ready like a super sport Chevy. Breaking all the levees, no time for drama while you suckers are so petty. Anytime you want it, just know I stay ready. And know I slay heady, kicking game like Messi so things could get messy. Any style you want it, I can drop it like confetti and chop it like machetes. Got rappers feeling edgy while you barely rocking mics and looking all sweaty. We spit it so deadly and bring the almighty. Then jack you for your credit on any given track. I'm Mario Andretti. The sport is so trendy, the shit feels pathetic. Set the bar so high, it's hard to impress me. Get down so ill, they don't wanna test me. All these suckers in my field, no need to feel envy. Too many suckers, too many suckers. Too many suckers. You can't walk the walk, don't talk the talk. You can't walk the walk, don't talk the talk. You can't walk the walk, don't talk the talk. Spit it so nice that I'm killing suckers gently. Never front with the ice or the Bentley. Roundhouse to your dome piece like my name is Jet Li. Cause I'm shifty like a lefty. All up in my bag like a hefty. Never running on fumes, cause my glass is never empty. Keep it filled with the piney, overflow with the plenty. Baby sipping on the Henny or the motherfucking Remy. But my thoughts are worth more than a shiny pretty penny. Been dope since the beginning and pinned upon entry. My position stays locked just like a Simpty. Suckers don't tempt me, press or contest me. Cause I'm wild as Serengeti. Suckers wanna compare but don't bet against me. All these suckers in my field, no need to feel envy. Too many suckers, too many suckers. Too many suckers. You can't walk the walk, don't talk the talk.
You are now tuned into the freshest, the dopest, the one and only. This is The Way Radio, broadcasting live from Hotbox Studios, Northeast Los Angeles. We got the genius, the DJ, the producer, DJ JAHBLUEZ live in studio right now.
Whoa.
Dropping some exclusives for us right here on diggingdaily.com.
Genius. You
gotta be a genius, man, to be able to rock, an album made specifically of DJs that you produced, and then to be able to work with a lot of other artists. I mean, either you're a genius or you're just really, really smart. But either way, I mean, if you're really, really smart, I consider you a genius.
Thank you, man.
Musical genius. There it is. Musical genius.
Thank you, man. Thank you. Yeah, man, but it's all due to paying dues, man. It's not something that happened overnight for me. Like, I had to learn it. I had to create a lot. I had to practice. Practice is in the creation. There have been times where I would challenge myself. I would try to see, like, how many beats can I make in one day.
Really? Now, when you do a challenge like that, is it really worth it to do a challenge like that? Musically?
You know what? Like, and you got to keep in mind, when I started doing that, I had an SP1200 and I had records.
Okay.
So, did every track come out dope? No. But to production-wise and productivity, it did teach me, that balance. It teach me how many solid beats I can make per day. And also, I got to be in the zone, man, to be honest with you. Yeah. Like, if I'm in a really cool zone, I'll bang out like 3 dope tracks. And it just comes natural in that aspect. But that's because I've been doing it for so long. Yeah. That didn't happen overnight, man. Let me just reiterate that. I'm not trying to be like, pretend like, oh, I'm like a magical producer. Like, nah, man.
When I first touched that SP, it was over.
No. I don't have that story, man. Like the thing is, like, but I'm gonna say, remember how I told you we used a 4-second sampler?
Yeah.
And that was a pretty cool pre-training for what I had to do with the SP1200. So to get a little bit more technical, I'll do it really fast. Like, you had 4 seconds, you looped it, and then you could slow it down.
Yeah.
So what would that do? It would double it to 8 seconds. So on the SP1200 pads, you only get 2.5 seconds per pad. So imagine that.
Yeah.
So to chop, you had the chop samples, or if you wanted to use a full length sample, right, you'd have to speed it up on the turntable, sample it, and then slow it down to get that extension, right?
Yeah.
So, and then also it has to match up with the tempo, right? So it's electronic science to it.
Yeah.
But with that practice, with that initial turntable making beats, that's what got me ready to making beats on the SP1200 and then PC60. Then I got into MIDI, connecting keyboards and stuff like that to it. Eventually started expanding from there. Now we're in the digital world. I mean, it's so different, man. Like, from back then, we were doing analog, right?
Yeah.
Like, I was recording on VHS tapes to even 2-inch reel-to-reel. Like, our first album, which I mentioned with 4-Zone that we dropped in 93, that album was recorded on 2-inch reel-to-reel. Like, it was done in a 64-track studio. It actually was, what's his name? I'm going to try to come back to that.
No doubt. I'll try to remind you.
Yeah, but we recorded that. We did that on a 2-inch reel-to-reel. We also had regular reel-to-reels for mastering. We also used 4-track Tascam recorders.
Yeah.
So I did a mixtape where I actually did beats on that, where I had King M's from, King M's, Mike Nordone from The Joint, 92.3 The Beat.
Yeah.
Back then, he came and hosted one of my mixtapes back then. And that, I had a couple tracks where I did the whole mix on the 4-track Tascam. Turntable mix, but I layered it, right? Because I also had MCs, and then I had to throw a couple of my own beats in there.
So you were bouncing off tracks.
Yeah, exactly. Bouncing them down, all on the little 4-track Tascam, right? And then we got I borrowed my buddy's 8-track, so he gave me 4 more tracks. So, yeah, it got exciting.
Yeah.
I thought I was in Paramount Studios when I got that. Back then we were like, oh yeah, we were real professional.
Yeah, we got an 8-track, baby.
You know what I mean? You feel like, you
turn that 8 into 16 real quick. Possibly 24.
Putting our elbows on it like it's a big. Taking pictures
it's not even that big. Like, nah, it's all right though. Just take a picture.
It's like this big. We're like taking photos, we're professional.
Shit.
This is the good old days, man. We were dreaming, right?
Yeah.
Dreaming, man.
But you were making work with what you had.
Absolutely, man, and that's what it was. It was the definition of shut up and create. Like, it was something that like we just wanted to create. We wanted to be. It was just badass, dude. It's like it's so like hard to explain because we really loved it, and I say we because there was always another person in there collaborating with me. Either they were writing a rhyme while I was making that beat, or they were making the beat with me, or you know what I'm saying? Like it was either an MC writing literally like while I'm making the track.
Yeah.
He's writing the lyrics. I'm done with the beat. He drops his lyrics. We recorded it in our closet with the sock on the microphone.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That was the popper stopper, right?
Yeah.
And that whole entire process is dope, man. And I'm like, that's probably the best time of my hip hop journey.
Yeah.
Was that part, like coming from no gear, like coming from no politics, coming just the innocence of creativity. Right?
Yeah.
Just that part is what I loved, man, the most. Is the creative part. I hate the business, man. I hate the business side.
Yeah.
You know? But
well, they say the business side ruins a lot of artists.
It totally does, man. I mean, I'm so about the art. Like, it's when it gets into politics, when it gets into, I'm not good at it. I'm not good at it. I'm honest. I'm an honest dude. Like, yeah. I'm not good at it. I'm a very emotional cat as well. Like, I'll admit that. Like, I'm a Virgo, man. Like, that's in my sign.
Yeah.
And I'm also a deep thinker, right? So I'll stay silent while someone's going off on me. You know what I mean? And
yeah.
I'm just like thinking in my mind, like, why did I even get involved with this dude? But at the same time, it's like, damn, dude, we made dope ass tracks. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. I cared more about that than the politics and business behind.
Yeah, you cared more about the outcome.
Yeah, man.
Of the music.
Because that's how I started, dude. I didn't start hip hop to be rich, dude.
Yeah.
Like, I started hip hop to be creative. Like, that's when I started doing hip hop, it was to be creative with my friends or my crew or my, you know.
Yeah. Like,
we did it to be creative, dude. Like, we did it to battle other artists. We did it to battle other MCs, other crews. Like, we did it as like an art battle, like almost, you know. It was a real culture back then. Like, to us in our where we grew up and our peers around us, it was like that.
Yeah.
You know, you had crews that had MCs, DJs, you know, B-boys. They had the whole thing. And, you know, and we would battle, dude. Whether it's on a wall, whether it's on the dance floor, whether it's on some turntables, you know, whether it's on a mic. I mean, I've been hit up at a party. I've battled at house parties, you know, and DJs got so mad that their crew wanted to shoot me. Like,
damn,
dude. But I'm saying it was like that. That's what it was about. It was about like the art. Like, yeah. It wasn't about getting rich. It wasn't about like, I don't know. It was just maybe a point in my time. But as I get older, we have responsibilities. We need to pay bills. I get it. That's when that business comes in, right?
But let me ask you this though, because in today's day and age, with artists that are coming out, they want to make money more than they want to create music. Can you hear it in their sound?
Absolutely, man. I mean, but that's because it's we have from my era and the new generation is this.
Yeah.
Like, we had to go outside or meet up and go pass out flyers at like a mall, at a school, high schools, events. We had to go out and meet people, shake their hand. Yo, come to our party. You had actually physical human-to-human contact, right? Now, someone tells you so-and-so is dope, and then it gets 1,000 likes. They believe that.
Yeah.
So you can pay for that. So it's really tough. You know what I mean? But then again, I know the backstory of the main industry. They paid to play all the time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They play DJs to rotate the music 100 times a day.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like the new era, but now these kids see. It's kind of like my grandma always used to say something, and it's deep. It's like you're holding the steak. There's a steak, I'm talking like meat, tied to a tree, and the wolf sits there and tries to get that steak, but it'll never get there because it's just dangling in front of him.
Yeah. But
they're not realizing that wolf needs to climb that tree, right, or find a way to get that meat.
Yeah.
But that's like what it is. It's like they're watching. I mean, in my language, it probably means, it's probably said differently, but now they look at on phones, like Kanye and all these big acts, right? Like, they're rich, dude. They got a lot of money. They show they have it. They show that power.
Yeah.
And a lot of the young generation don't want to work. I don't know. It's weird, man. Because I come from a hardworking family, maybe. I don't know. It's hard to explain.
I feel on that.
My father's a contractor, dude. Like, he made me dig ditches. Like, you know what I'm saying? It doesn't happen overnight. Like, I know that reality.
Yeah.
But I guess the newer generation, they feel like you could just do a YouTube show and be rich overnight. I'm like, no, dude. These guys stayed consistent. They worked hard. They did it every day. They're doing like 100 episodes probably in one day. You don't even know.
Yeah.
And that's why they do succeed. But people try to make it makes it look easy on their phones and YouTube and everything like that. It makes it look easy.
I feel like the new era of music with artists like that, it's not stability because they fall off. You don't hear about them. That like they have a little popping buzz for a good little minute and then they fall off. And a lot of their music, to be honest with you, is not something that I'm gonna be bumping 3, 4, 5 months from now. I'm not even saying years. I'm saying months from now. Their music is a moment in time within that little 2.5 months, and then after that, it's okay. It's done.
Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of like we're in the era of one-hitter quitters, huh?
Yeah, that's what I feel.
And that's what we used to call them back there, right? The one-hitter quitters.
Yeah.
They got their millions, they got their money, they're out, right?
Yeah.
They got their single, they got, But that's how you differ or know the difference between a classic artist and a real artist versus someone's in there for the money.
Word up.
I'm not gonna front. I wish I had one, hitter where I could say I could retire.
Yeah.
But I probably would not retire. Like, that's one thing, the difference I could probably guarantee. If I had a hit, I would be like, okay, let's do this. Let's sign so and so and so. Let's create a record label that actually, I don't want to say does good music because there's a lot of good music and I don't want to offend people.
Yeah.
But you know what I'm saying? Like, do kind of a style of music.
Let's get these hits coming.
Yeah. And keep the classic, alive. The classic-oriented styles and feels and, true writers, true poets. Like, I think that's the difference between, like, the golden era and now.
Yeah.
Like, but then again, you had some one-hitter quitters. I don't know. There's such a gray area, man, and so much of that.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to offend nobody, but like, I don't know, man. There's people who love it and they do it because they love it, and there's people that want to do it because it's a survival thing for them. Now, I'm not mad at that at all, because there are people that need to do it to survive, right?
Yeah.
And because I don't know, maybe that's the only thing they know, and I get that. I was at one point like that. Like, I thought I couldn't do anything else. So, but then you got, I don't know, it's deep, man. Like, the one-hitter quitter thing. Nowadays, these kids want to have a hot single. But what I noticed is there's too copycat. It's too biter. Like,
yeah.
How can you make it if you're not original? Like, it's common sense, dude. Like, you're a needle in a haystack. If you got 100 people that sound the same, how are you gonna be a hit?
Yeah. What is it? There's always been a formula to making music, and it just feels like the current formula. Everyone's like, well, it worked for this guy, so I'm gonna do the exact same thing this guy did, and then they're just repeating it over and over and over. And where I feel kind of upset about it, or not even upset, but I just feel like, man, is that I feel like as a music connoisseur, I'm not getting variety. I'm just getting the same thing, and it's like, okay, I can't listen to this no more. And then as an older head, I get typecast as, oh, it's because you're an older head. You're not up to date with what's going on right now. And it's like, well, I am up to date. I listen to everything, but I just can't get into it because, I mean, I get tired of hearing the same track over and over again. It's like, what was it? When reggaeton first came out. Reggaeton was all the same little beat. And I was like, every song sounds the fucking same. How could you get into this?
Yeah.
Like, I couldn't really get into it. And, you know, it progressed. But I feel like right now with the hip-hop scene, it's like everyone's doing the same thing and it's not progressing because radio keeps playing the same fucking thing all the time. I'm like, God damn it.
It's because it's paid to, man.
Yeah.
That's the difference, man. Like, it's not the public's fault that they have to hear something over and over and over and over again. It's not their fault, man.
They just gotta program you to like it.
Right. And that's the unfortunate part. People don't really have a choice, which they think they do. That's the reality of big business. You know, like big business, corporate style business. They want to take that artist and turn it into Coca-Cola or Pepsi and so and so and so.
Yeah.
You could probably bleep this later. Sorry.
No worries.
But you know what I'm saying? They want to make it into candy bars. So like you walk up to a counter, there's all these candies. Pretty much all of them have the same recipe, right? But they just have different packages, different clothes on.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like that's what they do. But I mean, if you even look at it like in the before 2000, you had the Puffy, right? Puffy,
yeah.
Puff Daddy. He was corny to a lot of people, and people forget that. People didn't like gangster rap at one point. People were into the native tongue. People were into the underground, right?
Yeah.
There was variety of hip hop, but there was variety.
Yes.
And people forgot that part. That's one thing I don't know where it shifted. People blame Lil Wayne. People blame Weezy, you know. But I don't know, man. You know, it's kind of hard to say because we had variety, man.
Yeah.
Ever since Pac and Biggie passed, like things changed. It was a huge shift.
Yeah.
But then again, you had coast battles and politics. Labels had politics because of that incident. It was kind of traumatic, man. But now here's another thing. Here's a little twist I'm going to throw at you. When you got to look at when everybody could record it out of their home, right? All of a sudden, the digital era came strong, right? Everybody could pay $500 and have a studio in their house.
Yeah.
So, to me, technology got caught up. So, the kids were like going and watching Drake. Oh man, I gotta go make a record like Drake. But a lot of those kids that want to be Drake, there was like 10 other, 20 other, 30 other kids that want to be Drake. But these kids don't even know each other.
Yeah.
But it's so accessible for them to record in and out of their room. What did they do? Like naturally, it produced a bunch of Drakes, right?
Yeah.
So, because it was accessibility, it was hard for us back then to get studio time. We had to be creative, like as you saw, like we had to piece equipment to make, you know, and then we had to promote it. We had to like give it away. We had to record it on cassette tapes ourselves, like at home, like press record, you know, and then do the double deck cassette tapes to make duplicates like ourselves. We didn't have that budget. But now in the digital world, they could be like done. It's Spotify.
Yeah. Technology.
In a couple seconds.
Technology.
Right.
Is what fucked up hip hop.
And that's what a lot of people say. But I mean, it is what it is, man. There's people that are gonna know what the difference is between true art and bubblegum. Yeah. Like it's like it's a gray area, man. You know, like I said, I don't want to offend people out there.
No doubt.
But it's like you have, and then back to what you said also, which is interesting to say. You're like, oh, you're an old cat. You don't know. You know, you're hating. I'm like, nah. I'm like, we're like the BB Kings and the Duke Ellingtons, man.
Yeah.
We will never put our guitar down.
Yeah.
And we will be playing till we pass. There is that group of artists in hip hop that are like that. I am like that.
Yeah.
That break that I took, I regret. And in that break, that's all I could think about was my music. That was the only thing that ever made me happy.
Yeah.
So it's like now that I'm back, I'm going harder. Even as a producer or DJ or whatever it is, I'm going till I'm never going to put my guitar down. You know what I mean? You get what I'm saying? It's I'm never going to do it because it makes me happy. That's what I want to do the rest of my life. I don't care what people, they can judge all they want, man. We live in a world that's judgmental.
Yes,
like,
we do.
You know, I'm going to that too. But it's like, I just want to create, man, and create with cool people that are like-minded, that want to create. That's who I enjoy working with. Just creators, man. Just like yourself, you're a creator too, and you're a supporter of a creation. We appreciate you, you know. I appreciate Digging Daily, man. We appreciate you. We need more platforms like you. We need more people that are going to support the true artists. And it's just tough, man. You know, and there's a lot of us out there that are trying to fight this battle. I commend them. You guys are all soldiers. We're all soldiers.
That's right.
In this culture. Like, we're all important. And we all need to support each other as best as we can. Now, that's another factor. A lot of people be like, well, why don't you share my stuff? Did you hear the track I dropped? It's not on purpose, dude. Like, I'll miss so many of the homie stuff that they drop. And they think, like, they probably low-key think that I'm, like, ignoring what they're doing. Like, no, man. I'm so busy wrapped up in what I'm doing. And I know that sounds so selfish. But it's not the case, man. Like, I'm trying to make my stuff go out there. But then all of a sudden they'll get a slew of likes and shares for me, right? Like, out the blue. Because I'm done with that thing. You know what I mean? That I was working on. So I think that's a lot of the times our co-artists, like, will be mad at each other, like, for not showing support and like. And sometimes you gotta just kick back and be like, yo, maybe he's just busy. You know, it's not personal that he's not liking or supporting.
Well, what is it to you? Like you said, you do have a life. You have a son. You know, you can't live on social media. And social media controls those algorithms, brother.
Bro, and I have gotten into it with people that are relevant right now that weren't relevant 3 years ago.
Yeah.
They got mad at me, man, because they apparently shared one of my records or one of my things I was doing. And I didn't even know they shared it. And because I didn't thank them, they never wanted to work with me again.
Wow.
So,
crazy.
And I didn't even know that. Look. And it wasn't intentional. I don't have an ego. People think I have an ego. I do not have an ego.
No, you're super cool,
like,
boy.
Yeah, but people think they get that. I guess it's my look or whatever.
Yeah.
But like I'm not like that. We're like, yeah, you have to share my stuff because I've been doing this for a long time. I'm not like that. That's just weird, dude. Like, I just want to create. Like, and if they did share it, like, I really do appreciate it, man.
Yeah.
Like, I really genuinely do. Like, if you support me, you share my stuff, like, that's awesome, man. I really feel good about that. Like, that makes what I do, you know, worth it even more.
Speaking of creating, Monstro on the chat said to tell him about your gospel R&B album.
What?
I don't know, but that's what Monstro said. Big up Monstro. Big up the homie
Monstro. What about the freestyle album we supposed to do, bro?
Oh shit! Oh! Bang, bang, bang!
Like Johnny O is like, what was it, Johnny O or Stevie B?
Yeah,
we gotta get him a Stevie B haircut. So Monster rocking the Stevie. He's probably going off on my text right now. Like, oh, okay. Big up to Mastro, man. He is one of the coolest cats.
Hell yeah.
I know, bro.
Hell
like,
yeah.
seriously, like,
Hell yeah.
he's a good dude. I actually, you know, I consider him a friend, man. We talk outside of social media. Like, we got each other's numbers. That's another thing. Like, everybody who's got my number, I consider a friend because we actually talk. Like, hey, what's up, man? How you doing? Like,
Yeah.
outside of this music shit. Like, you know, we just converse. He's a good dude, man. Mad respect to Stro, dude. Like, and he's another hard worker, man. He's a hard worker, man. He's a creator.
Yeah.
Speaking of Mastro, I got a couple joints with him.
Nice.
The Process, Urges. Those are a couple titles
Nice.
that I work with them on. And I'm wearing a shirt, man. Riders on the Storm with him and Jism. And we did a full project, full album. Jism High Definition. Monstro, me. Did the beats. They obviously blessed the pen. And also Monstro big up on the graffiti side. Like,
Yes, sir.
you know, he's got two media. He got two elements in his hand.
Yeah.
Mad respect for that. He didn't drop one down and focus on it. He still focuses on both, which is hard to do. That's mad kudos. I don't know if I can do it, but yeah, man, Mastro in the building.
This is a dope interview. We can keep going, man, but we're coming close to where we have to close it out.
Right.
So we got to get you coming back in here again, man. Next time you're in LA, man, we definitely got to link up, JAHBLUEZ.
Would love to, man.
Definitely got to link up. But real quick, man, for cats that want to find you, want to work with you, what's the best way for cats to get a hold of you?
You could go to djjahblues.com. They have a website that'll link you to everything I pretty much have. On Instagram is DJ JAHBLUEZ, all one word. On Facebook, it's JAHBLUEZ Music. You can look for me there if you're on Facebook. Other than that, I keep it simple. I don't have a lot of things on Twitter. DJ JAHBLUEZ, also all one word. And that's DJ JAHBLUEZ. And yeah, just keep an eye out on my projects coming out there. I got we on that again with Embre Levine. I got Phono dropping Monday. We just dropped Poetry of War with Gelrock. Gotta check it out.
And then music wise, where can they find all the music at?
All digital platforms pretty much. Spotify, iTunes, everywhere.
Before we close out, where do we see DJ JAHBLUEZ 5 years from now?
Whew. Probably doing that R&B project. Monster will be the lead singer.
Word. Hell yeah. We'll be looking out for that.
That's what's up.
Before we close out, brother, you got any shout outs before we close this interview out, brother?
Man, shout out to everybody in the game trying to do what they do, respecting the art, respecting the culture. Mad love. I understand. Let's keep going. Salute.
Word up. Last track we're going to play right here before we close out. Something Real. Talk about that track. Introduce it for us, brother.
Yeah, that's by Embre Levine. This kid I met in Phoenix. He's originally from Oklahoma City. I really liked his talent. He's a dope MC. And we did a whole project together. We did a couple projects. And I want to keep working with him. He's a good kid. And I don't mean kid as in disrespect, just, the hip hop kid, kind of thing. But he's a good dude. He's a very responsible father. He handles his business. He's also he cuts hair. He's a barber. And he's just a talented cat. Check him out. Embre Levine and DJ JAHBLUEZ. Yeah. We On That Again is the project that this song is coming from. So.
Make sure you guys check out DJ JAHBLUEZ. DJJAHBLUEZ.com for everything DJ JAHBLUEZ. This is The Way Radio, broadcasting live from Hot Box Studios, Northeast Los Angeles. You already know what we do. Support dope music, support dope artists, support the real shit. DiggingDaily.com. Something real. DJ JAHBLUEZ, thank you very much, brother. We appreciate you coming through.
Thank you.
We definitely got to do this again.
Thank you. Much love, man. Appreciate it.
This was real. just rapping the cope from being broke and being exposed to the ills of the world, being buried alive by the thrills of a girl who was way more mature, had me way insecure myself. Recognize the blessing from the endurance of rain, recognize the message from the words on the page. Looking in the mirror, descending of slaves, and I know it ain't no way they was secure on them waves. No room to maneuver at all. Shit, PP, pussy, and balls, I can't imagine. Shots to my grandfather and mother who made it happen. Half savage, I was told by the whites. Charismatic when I'm holding a mic. I got an old soul, every day I light something up and let it blow though. Overdose flow, so mix it with the no-dose thinking. If I sell a couple of these, I'ma get a photo Lincoln by next weekend. Tint the windows, put the beats in. You probably wouldn't understand the meaning of why I'm leaning. Smelling like a pound in the back. From the dreams that I found in the pack, I'm just giving my whole life. The do's and the don'ts, the difference between the needs and the wants. The reason why I needed the funk. Chose the same mistakes. Arrow through the heart, but the claim was fake. Still hit the mark, thought my brain was safe. Drowning in a tub full of dark liquor, jumping off a porch at 12. Tell a dope story like I'm Orson Welles. Everyday drama, yeah, of course it's hell. Make a splash in a room like an orchid tail. Getting cash in a room feels like I'm in a torture cell. I should really be on tour, but the drive gone crazy. How my kids see their dreams through an iPhone. I'm just trying to stay in the game and get your mind blown. They just want to keep it the same, don't change the time zone. Like I'm in the valley of the sun, but really in the valley where the plug got a gun and the drugs is A1 from day one. It was go time. Started from the bottom, homeboy, getting no shine. Me and Skeeter Mo from Dallas, riding in a Broham, man, I mean a Broham. I could keep it going, make it funky with a flow down. Keep it organic, stay in the pocket. If you panic, you can take some damage. They was young, taking Finney, trying to make it manage. But the only way you win is when you face the baggage.